Your attitude determines how far you will go in life. Let me tell you, it's not about how smart you are. Sometimes it's not even about how much you know. It's about the attitude you have. Your attitude determines the level of your altitude. See, sometimes people are so driven, but they have such negative attitude. If you don't have the confidence that you can make it, if you don't have the belief in yourself, your attitude determines how effective you will be with your life. Your attitude of how you speak to yourself, your attitude of how you view your problems, wherever you see a problem, you say, this is just a small obstacle that I will have a lesson out of it. When you have an attitude that when you enter in a room that you're going to dominate, you may be small, but you will dominate. It's not amazing how a lion is not the biggest in the jungle. The lion is not always the fastest in the jungle. The lion is not even the tallest in the jungle. As a matter of fact, the lion is not even the smartest in the jungle. But when the jungle enters in a place, everybody fears, not because of the strength of the lion, not because of the knowledge of the lion, but because of the attitude of a lion. Because wherever the lion comes in, his thoughts, the lion is thinking, this is gonna be my lunch. The attitude that you have, how you speak to yourself, how you view yourself, how you allow people to treat you. When you value what you have, when you value who you are, that determines how far you go in life. See, sometimes people don't reach further because of the negative attitude they have, because of the way they view themselves. See, no one can give you an attitude. People respond to the attitude you have. You see, sometimes I like to say, dress the way you want to become. Don't dress the way that you are. Dress and look the part of what you want to become in the future. Speak like a CEO. You want to be a CEO? Have the attitude of a CEO. Behave like a CEO. Be respectful. Respect time. Be professional in the way that you carry yourself. You have to have the attitude of where you want to be, because your attitude determines your altitude. See, even a small person can impact a community. Not because of the height, not because of the weight, not because of the knowledge that they have, but because the attitude you have determines how far you will go in life. The attitude you have determines which kind of leader you are or you are going to be. See, usually I'm a very happy person. See, I like to be joyful. When I arrive home, you know, I joke with everyone, and sometimes they get tired of my jokes all the time. But my attitude is, wherever I arrive, I want to bring joy. Wherever I arrive, I want to bring happiness. Wherever I arrive, I want to bring the spirit of togetherness, where people are comfortable to be themselves. That's the atmosphere that I want to bring, because your attitude sometimes affects the atmosphere. Have you ever been in the presence of a person who's so negative? Have you been there? I hate it. Like you're having a good time, and then that person arrives, and everybody, they're quiet. Because they are bringing such negative energy, they're bringing such negative attitude. And let me tell you, when you have a bad attitude, no one wants to work with you. No one wants to pray with you. No one wants to hang out with you, because you're always nagging, always gossiping about people, always complaining about everything. Your attitude determines how far you will go in life. But your attitude also determines how you will live with people, the impact you're having in your community. See, if you're always a negative person, no one wants to be around you. If you're always negative, no one wants to be around you. It doesn't matter if you speak in tongues. It doesn't matter how spiritual you are. But if you have such a bad attitude, if everybody knows that whatever they tell you, you will always share it with everybody, and they know that you're the TMZ, that nothing can be kept a secret with you, your attitude. If you work hard, when people see that, I love the attitude of that person. When you see a problem, you face it. You are not discouraged. Every obstacle that comes your way determines how far you will go. But sometimes God allowed the obstacles to come in our lives to reveal the kind of attitude we have. See, I do have my problems, and my life is not always rainbow and sunny and perfect. I have my stormy day. I have my rainy day. I'm not always happy. I don't always have it easy way. Sometimes I have my own struggles. Sometimes I have my own obstacles. But the point is how the kind of attitude I have when I have a problem, is how I speak, is how I look at the problem. I refuse to let the problem determine how I respond, but I respond with my attitude on the problem. I know that problems come and problems go, but I have to make sure that I understand I have the power to face my struggles. I have the power to be like a lion and enter in a place and have the attitude where my problems don't have me. My problems don't define me. My obstacles don't define me. I don't speak like my problems. I don't act like I have problems. Sometimes people always think like, wow, look at her. Pastor Ornella is always inspirational. She's always happy. She's always uplifting people. But no one knows what my battles are behind scene. You see me behind the camera, in that one, and that one. But you don't know what I face behind the cameras. You don't know when I go home, the struggles I have to face. You don't know the nights I have to spend up thinking, how am I going to respond to the problems I have? But I always know I don't look like my problems. I don't behave like my problems. I will have an attitude like the attitude of a lion. See, the other animals in the jungle, whenever the lion comes, they run. I don't want to run when I have problems. I don't want to run when there are issues. I don't want to run because I'm disappointed in my relationships. I don't want to run because life is difficult. I want to have an attitude that I respond to my challenges. I respond to my difficulties. I have the attitude of a lion, and I refuse to run. I will face every challenge because I have the power to not be oppressed by the things that life brings me. I have the power in my tongue to create the solutions that I want. That I have the power in my mind to not view things as problems, but to see things as a life lessons. Everything that comes in my life is a life lesson. What kind of attitude do you have? Because if you show me the kind of attitude you have, I will tell you the level of altitude you will go. You can't go high if your attitude is low. You can't think high if you're always behaving like you're always fighting with people. See, God can never uplift you higher if you're never faithful where you are. Are you humble? Are you always grateful? When things are not always going your way, are you always having the attitude to be grateful? Tell me the attitude you have, and I will tell you how far you go. See, some people are always complaining, things are not this way, things are not that way. Like for 366 days in a year, every day, all day, they are never happy, they are never positive, they are always looking at things in a negative way. Now tell me, how far would they go? Tell me, how much will they accomplish? Because you go as far as you see in your mind. You accomplish as much as the attitude you have. When you enter in a room, are people happy to see you, or are people praying that you leave? See, sometimes we become so spiritual But the kind of energy we bring does not reflect God. You enter in a place and everybody knows you are judgmental. The attitude you have is to think that you're better than everybody. You think that you know better. You think that because you're spiritual, you speak in tongues, and that makes you a better human being than everybody else. There is no humility in your spirit. There is no compassion in your spirit. The attitude you have does not reflect God. The attitude you have does not make people want to be around you. So be careful, because sometimes we think that the people who are in our lives are there because they want to. Sometimes people are in our lives because they have to. But if people had to choose, would they choose to spend the rest of their lives having you as a friend, dating you, having you as a brother or a sister? Is the kind of attitude that you bring make someone happier, wiser, motivated, encouraged? Tell me the attitude that you have, and I will tell you how high you will go.